My 6 month was like 1,200 and now it's 2,200. So, last month was definitely my biggest month. It has definitely doubled. It, went from, the 8 to 10K month to now the 15 to 20 plus. Last month was 22. What's good, guys? My name is Steve. I'm 25, based currently out of Denver, Colorado. I'm an online fitness coach, entrepreneur, sales closer, whatever you want to call it. I own an online growth fitness coaching business. That's what I reached out to Nick for. I have a history of competing and winning multiple overalls in classic physique. Now I specialize in holistic nutrition and doing some pretty high ticket solar sales. So that's pretty much my focus right now.
Incredible, man. And I want to first talk about where you were at when you and I first talked.
Yeah.
What did that look like? Where were you at? What were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I really reached out because I had saw Alyssa post her kind of coaching calendar, and I've just always been in the mindset of like I need to reinvest in my business, reinvest into the resources, but most importantly, the people that are in the position that I want to be in. That's what I preach to all my clientele. And at that point in time, I was using a highly botted Instagram account that was just stroking my fucking ego really hard, but it wasn't creating any actual leads. And I just realized that I had so much valuable information. I've had so many people tell me like, oh, you can go viral, you can go viral, you can go viral. And I'm like, shit, my page isn't doing it. And it's just because I had a huge kink. I'm relatively great at sales. I have a pretty outstanding offer. I have a growing clientele base. A lot of people support my offer and what I'm doing, but I just didn't have the engagement and the reach before Nick. So just really struggling, not knowing how to get more traffic and eyes on my page. And luckily, he helped me, create another account and really just get myself some traction from there.
So what did you try before besides like the bot thing? Like what was the strategy looking like?
Shit. I mean, it was really just calls to actions on my story. I think it got botted early 2020, late 2021. So it really just was, doing my best to create engaging content that was, maybe a pretty soft hook looking back at it now, but a pretty soft hook that displayed some of my current or idealistic client challenges. And then just making some content around that. But I feel like the Instagram, I don't know what we want to call it, the fucking algorithm, what it wants, etc., has changed so much throughout the years that, when Reels first came out, I had a lot of Reels that did great. And I think once my page got botted, it kind of brought it down. So I really was struggling, using the antiquated information of, hey, making, posts with, a hook and then a call to action on the story. And then once that page got botted, I just really had no engagement after that.
Got it. And what do you think the biggest change has been? Because to me, I think the biggest change actually hasn't been even your content and reach necessarily. I feel like we're just kind of cracking that with you and just getting that going. I think your biggest change, me personally, has been in the offer side, right? Because I think originally, right when we talked, you kind of changed a couple things, and I know your income on that side is like shot up, like incredibly. I don't know how much. I don't know if it doubled or what the exact number is, but maybe you could speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely doubled. I was definitely undercharging for my service. I think my year was like 2,500 and now it's 4 grand. My 6 month was like 1,200 and now it's 2,200. So last month was definitely my biggest month. It has definitely doubled. It, went from, the 8 to 10K month to now the 15 to 20 plus. Last month was 22. So that was definitely my biggest month. And yeah, I think I was just really undercharging, living in a scarcity mindset, thinking that, hey, a shit ton of people won't be able to afford my service based off the niche that I'm really diving into. And to, tackle off your question there, I think, in addition to the offer really expanding, I think it's been a really big, just like spiritual transformation, in the sense that like the process that I've learned through launch has really like specify exactly who I am and what I'm offering and who I'm offering it to. Where before I was just like, oh, I'm just a fitness coach. I can just kind of help someone get in shape. Where you've really like, through the initial documents, just by starting with you made me really go fucking inside and realize, who am I? How did I get here? What it is that I actually want to offer? Why am I actually offering this? And that cleared up so much clutter, so that I'm not just pitching a $200 coaching service to each and every one that I talk to. This is a high ticket, high valuable offer, to a
So
specific niche of
for one
people.
person, and you're the guy that can run it because of your specific attributes and who you are.
I signed someone yesterday, and he did the month to month for 400, and he literally said to me, "This is my last $400 I have right now, but I get paid tomorrow." So I'm like, I have a bunch of people that I'm sure we've all heard it before in sales, where it's like, oh, maybe another time I need to think about it, and those just aren't people who really see the true value, or aren't just ready to commit, and that just aligned me with the sense that, hey, this dude had heard from me about one of my clients who's fucking killing it right now, and if this dude believes that he's going to get the same result, which is what I do here, then he's going to get the same result, and it's an invaluable service. So yeah, it's really helping refine my niche to the specific person who has their back up against the wall, who sees no other better option than me.
It's amazing. I love to hear stories like that. It's amazing. And what do you think's coming in the future? Like what's next for you based on where I think we know where you're currently at. We understand that. I know on my end, I think that a lot of growth in terms of your social media brand is coming. And I think it's going to lead to a lot more sales, right? But I think it's like the offers dialed, the who you are is dialed. I think it's just a lot more content and growth on that side. But what do you think's next?
Yeah, I think it's a culmination of all those things. I think we've really refined who I am, and it's like we were just talking about before this call, just getting off that botted account and really fully committing to this one. Just in the past like week or two, I've started to see the traction on this page, and I just know that I have so much more coming via content, and also everything that's going on in my personal life. Just being a natural athlete now, 4, 5, 6 months down the road, when things are just enhanced, that I'm literally in the spot that I want to be in, that goes hand in hand with the virality and the impact that I have, just due to the fact that my most engaged content is just me shredded, just doing some jack shit. So what's down the road is more virality on social media, which is going to feed right back into, my ego, my spirituality, my branding, and my offer, and just allow me to work with a more refined niche. So consistent 20K months, definitely going to hit the 50K month before the end of the year. And yeah, just financial growth, business growth, social media growth, the whole nine.
Amazing, bro. I love it. And if there maybe was one thing you could have changed about the process so far that we do, about our process, what would be different? You know? Mm.
I mean, it's it's really hard to say, man. I got on the call with you. I knew I was ready to commit. I signed that day. You guys gave me resources and homework to fill out that day. I knew I wasn't looking for a golden ticket. I did the research. You guys were always, I mean, I did the homework. You guys were always just, on my ass to get on the calls, and you guys still have a bunch of calls, and you guys still make me, monthly, aims to get me on one-on-ones and just make sure that I'm in the right place. So you guys have all the specialists, from the content people to the offer people to the sales people to the writing people, just to make sure I'm good to go. So I never felt like I was unattended or unappreciated. There's never been 2 weeks that went by without one of you guys reaching out and say, yo, what's going on? How can we help? So, based off the fact that you guys have daily meetings and you guys have the resources needed to excel, I don't think there's anything that I could have really changed here, honestly.
Incredible. I love it. And maybe if there's one thing that you love most about it, what would that be?
I just think it's the personability. I just think it's I can't speak for anyone else, just due to the fact that I have had really great mentors in my day, but I know a lot of people that have had a shit ton of mentors where they invest in something, they get ghosted, and it's just some shitty course where they don't really learn much. There's not much engagement. They're kind of just, like just expected to just make it on their own. Like I said, I think my favorite part is just the fact that, like, whether it was you or Logan or Joe, every time I talk to you guys actually give a shit. Even though I'm not making the 100K months yet, and even though you guys work with people that are making, way more than me and way less than me, you guys have the ability to make it specific to that person, block out the rest of your attention, and just focus on what we're doing. And I just think someone in this field who's a very service-based guy, just the fact that you give a shit, that's what builds a loyalty over everything else. So I just really appreciate how engaged and how much of a shit you guys give about everyone.
Amazing, man. I appreciate that so much. And I think that's what we pride ourselves on. I see so many coaching programs, and we're not even a coaching program at this point. We're very consulting based. Like, I think coaching is more like, here's the program and you just go do it. And like we're very much like, no, this is what you specifically need to do, like you mentioned. And I feel like a lot of the people that maybe competitors or whatever, just people in our space, they just do it for money, and then they kind of like, kind of back themselves away from it, and they make their money and they leave. And it's just, I don't know. I could never do that for my brand, my reputation, and just like, I don't know how I could take money from someone if that was the case. So I'm super glad you say that, because I think we
Yeah.
can that for sure. Any last things that you want to just like leave here while we're still live recording as like a final message?
I would just say that this piece of content is probably going to be, repurposed and shown in the face of someone who's thinking about joining Launch, potentially thinking about doing it. And I just want to let you guys know, like, as someone who's been put in jail, as someone who's been evicted, as someone who has every single dollar robbed from me, you need to get your head out of your ass and realize that until you invest in the people that are in the position that you want to be in, you're probably going to end up like a hamster on the wheel. So whether launch right now is 7,500 or 10 grand, if you have made it to this point and my story has inspired you to this point, or anything else Nick and Logan are doing, bet on yourself, take the investment. You're not going to regret it. You have a full year with these guys. If you can't change shit in a year, if you don't change shit in the first month, it's literally all on you. So the final message I would just give someone is like, you're here for a reason. You have to invest in yourself. Go with these guys for sure.
Appreciate it so much, man.